What is up? I am so excited that you are here. All right, so if you're here, it means that you are interested in starting your own virtual assistant business. And you might be wondering exactly what a VA is and if it's the right move for you. Also, most likely you're here because you either do not have a current job, but you need to make some money, or you are absolutely despising your current job. You're constantly like dreading getting up in the morning and going to work. There's a multitude of reasons. One of my reasons that I hated going to work was my kids. My son did not want me to go to work pretty much every day that I would leave. And he told me that to my face as a 2-year-old. So that killed me inside. And then on top of that, I'm a former teacher, so we'll get into that in the next slide, but there's a lot of things going on in the education world that are not the most positive. So we're here to figure out if this is the right fit for you and what your next moves can be and how you can start to set all of this up. So let's get into it. Everything on here is intentional. So the background here is completely intentional, not to make it sound like, oh, look how alluring it is. It is though. When you're a VA, you can literally work for wherever. Like this could be your view. Getting work done, so you don't even have to take off. You can still make your money while you're a beautiful place like this. And you don't have to sit in front of your computer all day. I don't. So let's get into it. A little bit about me. I am the CEO, the owner of Carly and Compton Virtual Assistant Services. I am also the creator of Rose All Day Consulting, which is the multitude of my courses that I've created to help you become the best virtual assistant possible. So, my background. I taught in elementary school for 9 years. I thought it was like my thing, my calling, until it wasn't. And that was around the time that I started having children. I have two kids. One, my son is 4 and my daughter is almost 2. I had my son at the height of the pandemic. So, not really sure if it was the pandemic that changed things or the fact that I became a mom, but it just wasn't for me anymore. I wanted more time with my kids. It was exhausting. I came home drained every single day. I felt like a zombie. I like didn't even have enough energy to read my kids a book. Sometimes my son would come to me with a book that he wanted me to read to him, and that is like my thing. I love the fact that he loves for me to read to him. But I would come home from teaching and from school and I would just be so drained that I couldn't even really get through it. I would kind of try and I'm like, I can't do this, honey. I don't like I would stare off into space most of the time. Like I felt like such a crappy mom. I was not a present mom. I was not being the best wife. I just was not being my best self. And I knew something had to change. And a lot of it stemmed back to work being the root problem, like what my occupation was. So, and I had a feeling that if I changed schools, that wouldn't really fix the problem that I'm having. So I knew changing occupations was the right move, but my next step was I want to be able to be home with my kids as much as possible. There are people that work from home all the time. They at least get to work from home partially, like half the week. I want a job like that. I want to be able to work from home. I want to be able to work remotely and be with them as much as I can. I don't want to have to be commuting around and driving for an hour to and from my job. So I started my deep dive into research. I'm a research girly, so I did a lot of that. Searching, Googling remote jobs, jobs you can get with a teaching degree, work from home. I stumbled across virtual assisting and I started my virtual assistant business at the end of May of 2023. So that's when I got things kicked off. I started rolling with things on my computer, getting everything set up properly and organized. Like it was an official business. I landed my first client in June of 2023. So just a couple weeks later, actually, it wasn't even a full month. And I quit my teaching job pretty much within the same week that I got my first client. I was like, we're done. Here's my resignation. I'm out. And by August of 2023, I had replaced my teaching income. So this aligned perfectly for how I was able to set everything up, because I was still getting my teacher pay and my teacher income for a couple of a couple of months into the summer. So I was able to use that as a buffer as I set up my business, and I fully replaced it at the time that I needed to. And we never saw a dip in the income at home, because of the way that our income is, I needed to make around the same amount that I was making teaching. I could not take a huge pay cut. My husband and I are pretty much 50-50 with the income of our whole household and what's needed. So I knew I needed to make it work, and I did. And then within a couple of months after that, in February of the next year, I was able to pivot my business into Instagram management and Instagram coaching. So my business was niching down, pivoting, and growing. So were my skills. And through all of this, I only worked like 3 or 4 hours a day, still do. If that, sometimes less. Sometimes it's only 2 hours a day. Some days I just take off completely because I don't feel like it, or I just don't feel well. And I can make up for it in other days, other times, at night when they're asleep, during nap time. I get my work done when I can and when I want to. And I don't work all day. And some other great things that I've gotten from starting this whole journey is I have way more time for self-care. As a teacher and as a mom, I was not getting the self-care that I should have. I was not giving time for myself. I was neglecting myself a lot. And now, since I've started this job, I have more time for myself and what I would like to do and what I need to do. I take time to go to the gym. I take time to go on walks, to get massages, to get my nails done, to read. I'm reading more than I've ever read. Quality time with my kids. I take them to the park at least once a week, if not twice. And my work-life balance is amazing. I feel like I'm not stressing over work or working a ton. I'm actually living my life, and my mental health is the best it's ever been. Like, truly. And it just keeps getting better. So this is just a glimpse of me and my journey. Let's talk about exactly what a virtual assistant is, because I did not know right away. I had to do some research. I had to look into it. I was a little put off by it at first, actually, because my understanding, just a very broad understanding, not very good understanding, was that virtual assisting was like you are someone's personal assistant, but from afar, like remotely. And that's not really what it is at all. So a virtual assistant is an independent contractor. So meaning you own your own business, you're contracted just like an electrician coming to your house or a plumber coming to fix something. It's the same idea. It's the same vibe. And you provide administrative services to clients while operating outside of the client's office. So you do not have to be in the same place that they are. You usually work at home, but you can work from absolutely anywhere as long as you have a computer and internet access to get your work to your client. And it can be a multitude of different kinds of tasks and jobs. And usually it is a monthly retainer on a monthly basis, meaning that you have a month's worth of work or tasks to get done, and you deliver that to the client, and you and the client have an agreement, a contract set to the point where you keep coming back month after month. Like you are their virtual assistant month after month until something changes either on your end or their end. There are other times where it's like a one-time job, like setting up a website, things like that, where it's just you creating or delivering something to the client virtually, but it's like a one-time offer or a one-time one-off service. And that happens from time to time too. But the way that you can keep client retention is that monthly revenue and monthly tasks. Some key characteristics of being a virtual assistant. So what does it look like? What does it feel like? It's remote work. So you can work from anywhere. You're usually working on a computer, but it can also be a tablet. It can also sometimes look like a phone, depending on the type of work that you're doing. You're doing lots of different skills. It depends on what you are good at and what you excel at, what you like to do. You get to pick what it is you do, the type of work and the type of tasks. You can be as niche down and focused as you'd like to, like zoom in to a specific type of task, or it can be as broad as you'd like. And it could be various fields, various industries, marketing, technical support, graphic design. There's so many. I go deeper into this in my niche workbook workshop combo. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about what you can provide or who you can help, that's where to look for that. Flexibility, because you can work from anywhere. You can take off whenever you want because you are a contractor. You're not an employee. So you don't have to worry about saying like, oh, can I take next week off? No, you give them a good enough heads up because you want that great client relationship, but you just tell them like, I am going to be out of the office from this time to this time. If you need anything, here's how to reach me if it's absolutely like dire. Otherwise, I will be back to assist you on such and such date. And that's it. Or other days when you're not feeling well, like you're feeling sick, like I said, I just don't do work that day. If it's something where I did have something set up to do something specifically that day for a client, like lead generation, I will message the client and say, I'm not feeling well today. I'm not doing blah, blah, blah but I will do it tomorrow, or it will get done later today. I let them know like the work will be done. Here's when I plan to do it next. And it's cost effective because for you and for your clients, it's good for business owners to hire a virtual assistant because they don't have to worry about hiring a full-time employee and everything that goes along with that. It's definitely more cost effective down the line. So that's the lure for people wanting to use your services. There are some benefits of being a virtual assistant. Like I said, flexibility. You get to pick when you work, where you work, how much you work, all of it. That's up to you, which I love. You are the boss. There is nobody who calls the shots above you. Your clients have a say in how they want the work done, what they need done, where they'd like it, all that kind of stuff, like where to put the files or anything else that you would have to do for them. But if you're not feeling it, if you're not loving the client like relationship you're having, it's not vibing with you, you can peace out. You do not have to work for them. It is up to you. You're the boss. You set your rates too, which I love. So you set what you think is a good rate for you to make hourly. It's usually based hourly. You can get into that further about how you communicate that to a potential client or to current clients because you don't necessarily want to just outright say like, here's my hourly rate. And there's reasons behind that. But when you are making money, getting paid, you set that amount. It is not for your client to set for you. You tell them what you would like to get paid for the amount of work that you're doing. And that they either agree with it or they don't. If they don't, you can kind of wiggle around and maybe make it work if you wanted to. If not, if it doesn't fit in their budget, then that's fine. You go find somebody else because somebody will pay for your expertise. Somebody will pay for your skills. I found that out like really quickly. Somebody will pay the right amount of money that you think is your value. And the sky is definitely the limit. And you're able to scale your business too. So it's not just about getting a couple of clients and making it work. You can continue to grow with that one client or a few clients, or you can continue to acquire more clients. And if you get enough work, you can hire on virtual assistants to help you with your client work. And that is how you scale and build your business, because you could get to a point where you are more of the CEO behind everything and you don't actually do any work most of the day. You are kind of like the manager behind the computer, and you have people working for you, and they are getting the work done for your clients. That is what we're aiming for here. Less work, more money. And you have the ability to work with diverse clients and industries. So you choose who you want to work with, what kind of industry you want to be in. Like, it is completely up to you. So there's lots of control in being a virtual assistant. Some questions to ask yourself to see if virtual assisting is right for you. Do you enjoy working independently? This was like a toss-up for me. I wanted to work independently because I wanted to work from home for my babies, for me. I liked the social aspect of being at school with my, teacher friends and with the students. I liked that aspect a lot, but I was able to make that up with virtual assisting in my life, because now I have more time to go socialize with my actual like real friends, and I have more time to enjoy with my own kids. I also have invested in coaching programs, group programs, where I'm able to collaborate with other people in my field. So that is where I replaced that social aspect that I was missing. Also, I wasn't having good quality relationships when I was working my 9 to 5. And now, since I've switched to virtual assisting, I feel like my relationships throughout my whole life are more quality. And I'm actually enjoying the relationships I have instead of just like going through the motions. So I feel like the social aspect of my life has actually improved more. So don't let that hinder you. Think about the working aspect. Do you like to get work done by yourself? If you do well with that, that's great. Also, if you're like a person who needs to mirror when they work, like you need to have other people working around you when you work, there's a lot of spaces online that offer like co-working hours where you're basically just in a Zoom meeting. Other people are on their computers and they're working, and you are on your computer and you're working. You don't have to talk to each other, but it's more like you're all sitting there for accountability just to get work done. So if that's something that you also need, you can do that from home too. Are you organized and good at managing your time? This is important. You need to be organized enough to make sure you know about your clients, like the important information, where to find everything, and keep track of their work, and good time management. Keep up on your deliverables, what you need to get done for each client, the tasks, and how much time you're spending on these tasks, because that is going to help you get to the next level with your business and help you scale. And of course, are you comfortable with technology? If you're comfortable enough, and even if you're not great at technology, but you're good with learning technology and you're wanting to learn more, then you're good. You don't have to be like a complete computer program whiz to get started. You just have to have that drive to learn and be comfortable enough to dive in. Having successful VA business, it's about mindset though, and determination. It's not about any previous qualifications. It's about like, do you have the basic skills? Do you have the determination and the mindset to push forward and really get this off the ground? This is for the go-getters. This is for people who know that they are meant for more than just clocking in at work and listening to someone else tell them what to do the thing, and then go home. It is for people who desire more out of their work, out of what they are able to do and help people with, and out of their life altogether, because this allows you to truly live your life. Some myths that I've heard people talk about with virtual assisting, and some things that I thought myself, is you need to have advanced tech skills. Obviously, you do not. You need to be able to learn more technology, and you need to be able to navigate technology with confidence, but you don't need to have advanced technical skills. Any basic administrative secretary type skills will do you well here. And the next myth is VAs don't earn much money. It depends on how you run your business and how you set it up. If you set yourself up to get paid less, then you'll get paid less. If you set yourself up to make more money, you'll make more money. And then being a virtual assistant is just a temporary job. No, you can use this long term. You can keep this running. This could be your job, your occupation. And another thing is it's like an MLM or a pyramid scheme. Some people think virtual assisting, and for some reason they think scam, or they think like they have to get their friends and family in it, or they have to buy a bunch of stuff to get started. You don't. I'm not sure exactly where that stereotype came from, but that's not what it is at all. It's a legit job. You own your own business. It's completely legit, no scams. You do not have to put up a bunch of money before you get started. It's something that you can just go and do, just like starting any other job on your own. So, your first 4 steps to get started, because if you've gotten this far, you're interested, you want to see how this works, you want to know what you need to do next. So, first, you need to identify your skills and your interests. You can use my skill inventory checklist. It is a provided freebie, so it is a free resource that I have. I did mention it before, it's about choosing your niche, so that will help you. Choose your niche. Discuss the importance of specializing. Um, so you need to specialize and niche down. This is also included in the freebie that I have. So the free resource, the workbook, I keep wanting to call it a worksheet. It's multiple worksheets. The workbook/workshop. It's all about niching down and identifying your skills and your interests. So number 1 and 2, you can do based on what I can provide with you for free. So check those out. The next thing you're going to want to do is step 3, which is set up your online presence. This is important. You need to be online somewhere so that people can find you and work with you, and you can connect with potential clients. Some great ways to do this is set up a Facebook page for your business. So you're going to need a business name, and then set up an Instagram as well, because Instagram's a great way to grow your business and to have a lot of visibility for your business as well. So do those 2 things for sure. And you can also set up profiles on freelance platforms. I never used those, but that is a possibility that you could go do, like Fiverr. You can also set up like a LinkedIn for people to find you. It depends on what your clientele is, like what kind of clients you're wanting to work with and where they would be found most likely. And then you're going to start networking and marketing. So you're going to want to join some online communities like Facebook groups, or look for people within Instagram to find certain accounts and businesses. You might want to attend some free webinars or free networking. There's free networking Zoom calls, or you can do that within your area if your area is a good area for small businesses, and start pitching to potential clients. You also, as you do all these things, need to make sure that you set up your business properly. So that would be get an EIN number, and I would also think about getting a contract set up. And also, you need to have an invoicing system set up too, so a payment processor. These are really important steps to making sure everything flows correctly, legally, and you get paid. So if you want more information about how to set up your business legally, contracts, payment processors, and some of the other nitty-gritty information, reach out to me and we can figure out what you need to do next for that information. But don't stop at step 4, because it is so important to invest in ongoing education and learning when you own your own business. And I'm not just saying that to say that, and I'm not just saying that because of what I offer. I am saying that from a, virtual assistant to potential or newbie virtual assistant. Like this is from one VA to another. You need to keep investing in yourself. I did not want to. I was stingy about it and I didn't think it was necessary, but it truly is. So you need to think about coaching or consulting, mentorship, courses and trainings. Like these kind of things are really going to help elevate your business because you can't just jump into it and stay and just do it on your own the whole time. You're not going to grow and you're not going to move to the next level. You really need to find a coach or courses, some trainings that you really align with and that feel good to you to move the needle forward so that your business can grow. Some things about me with my investments. When I first started, right after I found out about virtual assisting and did a whole bunch of research, I still felt like I had a bunch of questions that were unanswered and I didn't know what exactly to do next. I invested $1,500 in a course to help me set up my virtual assistant business. I did not want to invest that much money right away, but I didn't know where else to turn. Nothing else seemed like the best value. And it was great, but I felt like that course gave me a little more information than what I was really needing. So I had wished that I had something a little more concise, a little more like straight to the point, kind of bite-sized almost, rather than this big all-encompassing course that was such a large chunk of money. So that's why I've set up some of my courses the way that I have. They are bite-sized because that's what I went through. And then after I did that with the course, I was at another roadblock of gaining clients, finding clients that were aligned for me and that met my price point, my rate and everything. That was hard. So then I ended up investing $4K in a coach and mentorship. I did gain a lot of experience and knowledge, but I felt like I outgrew that eventually and wasn't sure if 4K was truly the value of what I gained, but it did help propel my business forward. And I've also invested in many courses and trainings since I've started my business to help strengthen my skills and just overall help boost my expertise in different areas. Like I've taken Instagram courses and Reels courses, things about the algorithm, messaging and content and social media. I've taken lots of different courses to help with my overall understanding of where my business led me and pivoted with Instagram management. And so that's all just to say, you really do have to invest money to make money because then you're going to strengthen your skills and your expertise, which means you can charge more and you can make more money and grow your business and scale. And that is where we want to go. So thinking that you can just DIY your way through this, you might get, far enough to get some clients. I hope that it goes well, but I have a feeling that if you were to DIY your way through the whole thing, you're going to get to a point where you're stuck and where you're not growing. And that's where you need to invest in some of these things to really move the needle forward and get to that next level. So what is next for you? As you start to set up your business, go through some of these things that I mentioned and start to understand what the next right move is for you, make sure that you download my niche workbook workshop. It's a workbook workshop because it comes with a PDF for you to work through with worksheets. And also it's me talking to you just like this. So you get me guiding you through each page. So it's kind of both. It's a workbook workshop. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram so that we can be besties and so you can keep in touch. If you have any questions as you're navigating all of this, you can let me know, shoot me a DM. And make sure to join the free Facebook community because that is where we can truly collaborate. I'll be dropping lots of trainings in there, mini trainings, and a lot of tips and tricks. And it's a place where we can come together and have that social aspect back. If you've started up your virtual assistant business already, It's where you can collaborate with others and meet people who are doing the same thing you're doing. And uh, yeah, that is all I have. I am so excited that you came here and that we got to do this. And um, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm always here to help, and good luck on your journey.